Hey, good morning, guys. Once again, it is I, the chairman, bringing you a review of physical media. So, the first thing I want to start off with is that I am currently watching Blue Underground's new 4K release of Dead and Buried that I mentioned that I had received in the previous video. And I gotta say that right now, this might be the first Blue Underground film that I'm going to give a unfavorable rating to if it continues to hold up for the rest of the film based on what I've watched so far. So this film is very grainy looking, and part of it is that a lot of it is shot at night in dark situations, but it's just generally really grainy. And I don't know whether it was just that it was grainy to begin with. The film was scanned from the interpositive, not the original camera negative. And while that might explain some degree of graininess, we've seen pretty good scans and restorations from prints. So I don't know that it being the interpositive alone is enough of an explanation. I'm sure Blue Underground did the best job they possibly could, but it seems just like overly grainy and to the point of losing detail. Like, there have been lots of great 4K restorations that have had plenty of grain, but it brings out the detail and it looks appropriately cinematic. And to give it credit, to give the film credit, the first 10-15 minutes are like way grainier. And even in the beginning, where you see like the first guy who gets killed by this whatever's going on in this town, this cult or something, it's outside, it's by the seaside. You'd expect that a brighter daylit scene would look better. And at first I was like watching this, I hope it looks better, because obviously the credits, I expect the credits scene to be grainier because of, that's how it always is. And then like you see the guy driving, he's going on the beach, he's taking photographs, and it's like, this ain't getting better. This should look a lot better. And for whatever reason, it doesn't. So, and then it doesn't seem to improve. Later on, as I continued watching this morning, it did get a little better. I don't know whether it was a case of like the first reel. Well, I don't know how the interpositive, like what actual form the interpositive comes in. I don't know if it's in like a series of reels like it is for like the print that is projected at a movie theater. But it could have been that first reel was bad or not as good, and then it got better. I mean, it didn't get significantly better, but it wasn't like as egregiously obvious with the grain. And there were some scenes that looked pretty good. Nothing close to what Blue Underground has done before. So even if this improves a lot, I would probably still end up giving it a lower rating compared to what other films, the other films that Blue Underground has put out. So I'm going to withhold judgment, complete judgment, until I finish watching the film. But yeah, I'll let you know. But as of right now, if you're on the fence about getting this, and this is not a cheap buy, definitely hold off until you watch a few more reviews of other people who are far more experienced than I am at evaluating 4K. But so then what I did get in was I got Fast Times at Ridgemont High from the Criterion Collection. It was $20 off. It was $20 at Amazon. So this was pretty much the only Criterion film that I wanted to get. And even though I have heard that it might be coming out in 4K, we'll wait and see. We haven't heard anything about it being on 4K, so if that's the case, it probably won't be until next year, if ever. So, but yeah, it's just the one disc. There's a booklet in here with mainly an article written by Cameron Crowe, the screenwriter. That says "When We Were Freshmen." It's just it looks like it's something that was written for the. I'm not sure whether it was written for this version itself. And then there's another article, "A Kid's Eye View," by Dana Stevens. And then there's just some notes about the transfer. And obviously this is a classic 1980s teenage coming-of-age film. It's got an amazing cast. Phoebe Cates, Eric Stoltz, Judge Reinhold, Sean Penn, of course, in probably his first iconic role as Jeff Spicoli. So definitely looking forward to giving that a watch. And then from my the flash sale from 88 Films out of the UK, I got this one, A Black Veil for Lisa, one of the earlier Giallos. And that's the back. And like is standard with the 88 films, they're Giallo films. They all had they have the green disc and an alternate sleeve art. And then because I had watched Adrienne Barbeau in The Fog, and I know a lot of people have a hankering for her. She was definitely a kind of a sex symbol of the early 80s. Despite the fact that she has that old-looking face, but she still looks great today. So I don't know whether there's a case of like it is where if you kind of start off looking old, then you don't really age because you always looked old. But she still looked hot. Don't get me wrong. It was just that she didn't have that obviously that really young baby face look that a lot of other women had. But in the case, I think it served her well because she could kind of play that older, sexier type. But this is for whatever reason, SwampThing has never been available in the United States in the uncut form, and I think that could be a rights deal. Studio Canal appears to have the rights based on their logo being on the disc, and so therefore it's only been available. I think there's a German Blu-ray which has been either out of print or really unavailable, and then this one from 88. So you have the DVD, you have the Blu-ray, and as it is often, there's a reverse cover art. And this was one of Wes Craven's earlier films prior to Nightmare on Elm Street. So yeah, definitely looking forward to giving that a watch. And then finally, Humanoids from the Deep from Roger Corman. And this was directed by Barbara Peters, a woman, apparently. Music composed by James Horner, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't sound like Aliens and Star Trek 2 and everything else that James Horner has composed, but I'm not holding out much hope because James Horner tends to reuse the same music over and over. Still good, but you know, he just reuses it a lot. And this stars Doug McClure, Ann Turkle, Vic Morrow, and that's the back. And there's kind of this running theme, you know, with The Fog and with Dead and Buried, and with this film of like these kind of small, quiet, quaint seaside towns that have something really dark and sinister and mysterious going on. And yeah, so that's the inside. We got the one single Blu-ray and the another reverse sleeve. And it's pretty cool looking. Kind of a takeoff on Jaws in the sense of the girl in the bikini in the front and then the monster in the back. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what I got. Like I said, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to alternate between older films that I bought and the newer stuff so that I don't get continuously behind on my watching. Obviously I got a ton of stuff in from that Severin sale, so probably going to be pretty busy for a while. And at the moment I don't plan on buying anything else other than just like the pre-orders that are coming in, True Romance, Ran, what else? I think that's it for now. But yeah, so probably the next thing that I really want to get is The Thing. Everything else, I think I'm pretty much happy to wait on sales. If it goes all the way to Black Friday, then that's fine. So yeah, I will let you guys know what I thought of Dead and Buried after I finish it. And until then, have a good one. See ya.